synopsis of it, if not just for you, but for all the people watching, so they understand. So I just have a quick, right before we do that category, I'm going to read a quick, synopsis of the nature, so that people, also the viewers, understand, how you're, judging.
Perfect. That's good.
So Sandy,
we are live.
Sandy, are you going to kick off each category as we switch to it, or?
I figured I'd do the, if you want me to, I can. I was going to do a quick, announcement of what category. I think most of the categories are pretty self-explanatory, other than the nature. The nature was the main one, but I'm going to read off the score, for each image as it scores. In case people can't see or whatever, just read those off.
And for the run-throughs, I'll do about the first 10.
Do the first 10.
Okay.
I've thrown the potato your way, Shane.
Okay.
And we are live. I see us up there.
Okay.
We've got about 5 minutes beforehand. So we'll give it about 5 more minutes before we start.
Okay.
But we're good. That's the main thing. Yes. Hopefully people can find it.
Yes.
So we're going to start with Cityscape?
That is correct. So that is the order at the top that we will run through. And like we said, we'll do a run through of about 10 images, stop it, and then go back and start scoring.
Okay, so not the entire slate of images.
No, we feel it'll be too cumbersome.
I totally agree.
I think the first 10 gives you a taste, of what you're going to be seeing in the category.
What's the largest category going to be number-wise?
I think it's open.
Open
No,
got 55.
it's actually monochrome is 50.
Monochrome's got 56.
56, yep.
Then comes open at 55, nature 53.
Yeah.
Photojournalism has the least number.
With maybe those two larger ones, if we could maybe see a sample of like 15.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep, we can do that.
Just for the
Absolutely.
larger categories.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's up to you if you want to run through to go through all. It's your call, right?
I think we do have time if that's what you prefer.
Yeah.
What is your preference?
I'm happy with like this group of 28 C10. How about you, Peter?
I'm quite happy with blocking it off into chunks, like 10, 10, and 8 for this one. Yeah.
Okay, Lisa.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Great.
Okay.
I have it up on my TV on the patio as well. It's pretty cool.
All right.
Okay.
So if you see me lounging, that's where I'm watching.
All right.
That's just a coffee in your hand, though, eh?
Surprisingly, it is.
I can't believe it's that good of weather out there, huh?
In the sun right now, it feels like it's got to be 70 degrees. It's so warm right now. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's unusual for Connecticut for November.
Yeah, it definitely is.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, Peter, you mentioned snow last week. We had snow down here, Friday, whatever, 8 days ago. And it was like, okay, fall's over and winter's here, but now we got this almost early fall weather for 3 or 4 days.
Right on.
Well, in Seattle, I have snow. I have rain.
Rain, yeah.
Shocker.
But it's a warm rain.
Yeah, there you go.
Like when I go to Hawaii and it rains.
Yes.
Wow.
It's kind of like the equivalent of the dry heat, huh?
Yes. Yes. Is that what
like,
you get in Arizona, the dry heat?
Yeah, it's like it's 150 degrees, but it's a dry heat.
Yeah, 150 is 150. I don't care what the humidity is.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you can fry an egg on your driveway, that's a little too hot.
You literally can some days, yeah.
I'm going to give it another 2 minutes and then we'll get going.
So Daryl, I grew up outside of Portland, so I know about rain.
Okay, definitely. Where outside of Portland?
A small town called Scappoose, about 20 minutes down the Columbia River from Portland.
Okay.
That's some fancy mouse action going on.
Oh, thanks. I'm getting bored. Okay.
We could, dance a little.
Yeah.
Like I can make spirals.
Yeah.
Lisa
From
was
the
pretending to be a
Spirograph
cat and
generation.
trying to bat it.
Yeah. Exactly.
I do have a cat that loves to come on my desk and like play with the mouse on the screen and like try to bite it and try to smack it. I mean, it's to the point I got to shut my door so they can't come in here because he loves to do that too much.
Dear. Oh dear.
Lisa, same here. I had to close our two cats out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
They keep wanting to be in the picture.
Yeah, literally. Yes. Same here. They're locked out.
So it looks
Mine's
like
not, but it
it's
doesn't-
officially 9:30. So I'm going to get us going. So welcome everybody to the 2020 Tops in Connecticut competition. We have 3 wonderful judges today. We have Peter Baumgarten, Daryl I'm going to mess it up now. Gulain. I think I got it. Lisa Langell. Thank you so much, guys, for being here this morning and giving us your time to judge our images. We had 84 photographers upload 392 images, which is great considering we're in the middle of this crazy pandemic. So we are going to be judging in 9 categories: cityscape, creative, landscape, monochrome, nature, open subject, photojournalism, portrait, and waterscape. We will also have a best in show, and each one of the judges will get to choose a judge's choice image. The scoring today will be from 6 to 10, 10 being the highest, which will be awarded to photos that are exceptional. The images are in random order. They're just randomly placed in the categories. Any other questions from you guys before we start? No? Okay, so we're going to start with the cityscape, and good luck to everybody.
Here we go.
Okay, so we did a run through of about 10, and now we will actually score the photos.
Okay.
Score of 25. Score of 24. Score of 24 and a half. Score of 25. Score of 20. Score 20 and a half. Score 19. Score 24. Score 25 and a half. Score 21. Score 21 and a half.
Was this one in the last? Don't remember that one.
Do you have a question, Peter?
I thought we'd finished at that previous photograph, so I was waiting for the next 10. Is this?
No, we're just going to keep going through. We only did a run through with the first 10 to give you a taste. So now we're just going to continue scoring on.
I thought we were running through them in blocks of like doing a quick run through. Okay, got it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Are you okay if we continue on?
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Okay. And has everybody scored? I don't think so.
I don't know if I scored that one then or not.
Yeah, let me bring it up.
So
again.
we're gonna reset, and we can go back to that image again, and we can score.
Okay. Oh, hang on. You're right. It was scored. Let me rescore it. So hang on. Okay. So, okay. Score again.
Score 21. Score 24 and a half. Score 22 and a half. Score 20 and a half. Score 21 and a half. Score 22. Score 23. Score 23 and a half. Score 22. Score 23 and a half. Score 24 and a half. Score 22. Score 20 and a half. Score 23 and a half. Score 22 and a half. Score 21 and a half. Score 22 and a half. Great. Okay, so that completes the Cityscape category. For the viewers watching, we're going to score each category individually and then go back and pick best in show and then finalize all the category winners, just so that everybody understands the order of things. Okay, so the next category is creative. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, considering we're not running through all of them sort of in a fast slideshow, and you can definitely get a large variety of creative images, can we do the 2-second show for the entire set here?
Absolutely. Okay,
Okay.
we can do that.
Yep, here we
All
go.
right, so we will do a run through of everything for this category. Okay.
That was a great idea to do that on that, Peter.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and if you guys want, you know, if you find that it's better to do it all, you know, let me know. But you know, for that one, I think it was a good choice.
Yeah.
All right, so if we're
to-
ready, we're going to score these ones. Score 24 and a half. Score 21 and a half. Score 22.
Candy, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
Score, did you hear me?
We didn't. Score 22.
Score 22. Score 25. Score 23 and a half. Score 23. Score 20 and a half. Score 20 and a half. Score 27. Score 24 and a half. Score 21 and a half. Score 20 and a half. Score 24. Score 19. Score 23. Score 18 and a half. Score 22 and a half. Score 19 and a half. Score 22. Score 23. Score 21 and a half. Score 22 and a half. Score 23. Score 21 and a half. Score 24. Score 27. Score 22 and a half. Score 24. Score 20. Score 23. Score 23. Score 20. Score 20 and a half. Score 25 and a half. Score 23 and a half. Score 24. Okay. And that we complete the creative. All right, so now we come to the category of landscape. We have 46 images, so we'll do a run through of 15 since this is a larger category, and then we will go to scoring.
Good.
Or judges, do you want them all? 15 good? It's your guys' call.
Yeah, that's good.
15 is fine.
Yeah, 15 is fine.
Okay. All right. Okay, and now we will score. Score 21.5. Score 22. Score 23.5. Score 24.5. Score 25. Score 23. Score 22.5. Score 20. Score 22.5. Score 21.5. Score 24. Score 23.5. Score 26. Score 19.5. Score 21. Score 21. Score 20.5. Score 20.5. Score 22. Score 22. Score 22. Score 25.5. Score 24. Score 23. Score 22. Score 24.5. Score 25. Score 25. Score 22.5. Score 24.5. Score 22. Score 22.5. Score 23. Score 24. Score 22.5. Score 23.5. Score 23.5. Score 25.5. Score 25. Score 20. Score 27. Score 25. Score 20. Score of 24. Score of 25. Score of 23. Okay, and that is the completion of our landscape category. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Thumbs up here.
All right, a little stretch, and we'll go
Yeah, we're getting
on
ready
to
for the longest category. Yeah.
monochrome. Maybe what we'll do is after this category, we'll take a 5-minute break. We have 56 items. How many would you like to see for the run through to get a taste of the category? You want to do 20?
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. So here we go. So we're going to do monochrome with a run through. Okay. So that was the run through. So now we will score the photos. Score of 23. Score of 22.5. Score 24.5. Score 19.5. Score 23. Score 26.5. Score of 23. Score 22.5. Score of 25. Score of 21. Score of 20.5. Score of 23. Score 25.5. Score of 25. Score 24.5. Score of 20. Score of 27. Score of 25. Score 23 and a half. Score of 22. Score of 24. Score of 20. Score of 21. Score 23 and a half. Score 24 and a half. Score 23. Score of 21. Score of 25. Score 23 and a half. Score 23 and a half. Score 24. Score of 23. Score of 25. Score of 24. Score 24 and a half. Score 23 and a half. Score 22. Score 23. Score 25. Score 23 and a half. Score 22. Score 22. Score 23 and a half. Score 27. Score 23 and a half. Score 22 and a half. Score 23 and a half. Score of 24. Score 24 and a half. Score 23. Score 25 and a half. Score 25 and a half. Score 23 and a half. Score 22 and a half. Score of 25. Score of 26. Okay, so that was the monochrome category. How you guys doing?
The coffee's keeping me going.
I'm doing good.
Yeah, these are great images. Yeah, so I'm doing fine. If you want to take a break, I'm good, but I can keep going as well. Doesn't matter.
How about the rest of you? You guys are good?
I'm fine either way.
I'm good.
Okay, all right, then we'll keep going. I'm going to pause a second here to just talk for a second about the next category. It is the nature competition. For the viewers, I just want them to know that we are judging this based on the Photographic Society of America nature definition. And I'm just going to briefly read. Nature photography is restricted to the use of the photographic process to depict all branches of natural history, except anthropology and archaeology, in such a fashion that a well-informed person will be able to identify the subject material and certify its honest presentation. The storytelling value of a photograph must be weighed more than the pictorial quality while maintaining high technical quality. Human elements shall not be present except where those human elements are integral part of the nature story, such as nature subjects like barn owls or storks. Scientific bands, tags, and radio collars on wild animals are permissible. Photographs of human-created plants, cultivated plants, feral animals, domestic animals, or mounted specimens are ineligible, as well as any form of manipulation that alters the truth of the photographic statement. No techniques that add, relocate, replace, or remove pictorial elements except by cropping are permitted. So you cannot do composites or clone stamping. Techniques that enhance the presentation of the photograph without changing the nature story or the pictorial content, or without altering the content of the original scene are permitted, including HDR, focus stacking, and dodging and burning. Stitched images are not permitted. All allowed adjustments must appear natural. Color images can be converted to grayscale monochrome. Infrared is not allowed. So any questions on the nature category? Nope. If you see an image that does not meet those qualifications, we ask the judges to give it the lowest score of 6. And that's it for those instructions. Do you have any questions?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. All right. So we have 53. So shall we do a run through of 20 again this time?
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay. So that is our run through. And now we will score the nature competition. Score 21.5. Score of 24. Score of 23. Score 23.5. Score of 24. Score 26.5. Score 26. Score 22.5. Score of 22. Score 28.5. Score 25. Score 20.5. Score 25.5. Score 25.5. Score of 18. Score 20.5. Score 19.5. Score 26.5. Score of 20. Score 22.5. Score 22.5. Score 22.5. Score 22.5. Score 23. Score of 24. Score 21.5. Score of 25. Score 24.5. Score 25.5. Score 26.5. Score 25. Score 25.5. Score 25.5. Score 25.5. Score 23.5. Score 24. Score 23. Score 20 and a half. Score of 20. Score 22 and a half. Score 26 and a half. Score 23 and a half. Score of 20. Score 25 and a half. Score of 23. Score of 23. Score 23 and a half. Score 25 and a half. Score of 19. Score 24 and a half. Score of 25. That completes our nature competition. I'd like to take this moment to give a shout out to our IT person, Shane Collins, who developed this software for us and is our computer guru. So thank you, Shane, for helping the committee this year with this competition and making it virtual.
Yay,
in
Shane.
spite of the pandemic, letting us continue on with this competition.
Outstanding.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, so you guys good to go to keep going?
I am.
All right,
Yep, let it roll.
we'll push on through.
All right.
This is going to be one of our larger ones. This has got 55 images. Because this is open subject and there is a wide variety, I'm suggesting that we do a run through of the entire category similar to creative. Do you guys agree?
100%.
Yes.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
so we will do a run through of the entire category for this one. And this one, anything goes. Okay, that's the run through.
Okay.
And any questions? Nope. All right, then we will start to score the images. Score 24.5. Score of 25. Score of 23. Score 24.5. Score of 20. So score of 23.5. Score of 21. Score of 23. Score of 23.5. Score 24.5. Score of 25. Score of 25.5. Score of 23. Score of 22. Score 24.5. Score 22.5. Score 23.5. Score 22.5. Score 22. Score 22.5. Score 23. Score of 27. Score of 23. Score of 20. Score of 20. Score of 24. Score 21. Score 20.5. Score 24.5. Score 19.5. Score 22.5. Score of 25. Score of 26. Score 21.5. Score of 25. Score 24.5. Score 24.5. Score 24.5. Score of 22. Score 22.5. Score 20.5. Score of 22. Score 25.5. Score 24.5. Score 24.5. Score 22.5. Score 22. Score 21. Score of 20. Score of 24. Score of 26. Score 22.5. Score 22.5. Score of 25. Score 27.5. That is our open subject category.
The rest of you judges, but I'm kind of now liking to going through all of these quickly because
Okay.
feel of what overall what we're seeing. It's up to you guys.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, so I'm good with that.
And there's also like, it sounds like a boat running in the background. I'm not sure, but it's getting louder and louder.
I thought it was a vacuum cleaner in someone's house at first, but
I think somebody had some leaf blowing going on at one point.
was a leaf blower going.
I wonder if everybody turned off their mics, muted them.
Well, the only people that have mics on are the three of you, myself, and Shane.
Okay.
It just stopped, whatever
It
that
just
was.
stopped there.
Okay.
Apologize if you hear a saw going. My husband's making a shelf in our garage.
No, this is like a constant noise. It hasn't stopped and now it's back again. So I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, I was on mute and you said you could hear it, so I'm good that it's not me. So
all I have is an occasional saw going in the driveway, but I don't know if it's not going now. So
do we want to take a break for a couple minutes?
why don't we take a 5-minute break?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, stretch our legs, and we will be back in 5 minutes.
Now,
right.
when we're on break,
All right.
when we're on break, are we being still recorded with the rest of everybody, or can the judges talk, or what?
We are still live. We will still be live on the YouTube, and it will still be recording. So I would say save your conversation till the end. If you want to turn your camera off while you get up and stretch your legs for a minute, go right ahead.
Okay.
All right.
You're the leaf blower out there?
Yes.
You.
You think it was me? I was on mute the whole time.
Oh, that's weird. No, it couldn't be.
Exactly. And I was on mute. Can you hear sound on here? What's up?
They're not sharp. Yeah, some of them are not sharp, and also, and some of them, they just need to be.
At that meeting, people watching varies between.
Wow.
So 76 was the highest, but now 55 up to 80.
That's impressive.
So a lot of chat going on. Daryl's making a lot of comments, to help people.
Help people in what way? Can you
Asking questions. I thought that the scores were 6 to 9, and he says no, 6 to 10. So answering questions.
Okay.
Matt's on there chatting too, and so is Tom and Lisa.
Tom and Lisa have done good.
Lisa is letting them know why there's no titles. Answering those kinds of questions.
Good.
Is that Sandy?
Yeah, Sandy.
It's Sandy, you taking it?
You guys aren't on mute. Everybody can hear you talking.
Oh, jeez. Sorry.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hello again.
it's fun seeing all these beautiful images on a Saturday morning.
Yes, thank you.
And there
Yeah.
are some spectacular ones.
There really are. This has been a pleasure.
That's great. Before we get started, I would like to make a quick comment and just introduce the 2020 Tops in Connecticut Competition Committee. I'm Sandy Schell, and I am your MC for today. And Colleen Riley and Bob Feder are also on the committee, and I just want to say thank you to them for their support and help during this process. And so now we just need Shane to come back, and we will get started again. Shane, are
There,
you
I
there?
figured out how to unmute. I'm back.
All good, Shane?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're gonna, have we switched
now
to doing a walkthrough of the full set? Is that?
If we could, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, that would be great.
Sounds
Because
good.
you're going through them fairly quick.
Yeah, we seem to be doing well on time. So, and especially this one is a very short category. So we'll do a run through of photojournalism. Okay. And now we will score the photos. Score of 21. Score of 25. Score of 25. Score of 22. Score of 25. Score of 22.5. Score 22. Score 21.5. Score 25. Score of 25. Score 21.5. Score 23.5. Score of 23. Score 24.5. Score 26. Score 25. Score 22. Score 27. Score of 24. Score 28.5. Okay, great. That was the completion of the journalism. Next, we go to portrait.
And we're going to run through all of these again?
We're going to do a complete run through per your request.
Perfect.
Of portrait. Okay, that's the run through.
Right.
And now we will score the photos. Score 21.5. Score of 25. Score 23.5. Score 24.5. Score 23.5. Score 22. Score 19.5. Score 21.5. Score 22. Score 21.5. Score 23.5. Score of 24. Score of 24. Score of 26. Score 25.5. Score of 22. Score 20.5. Score 21. Score of 25. Score 22.5. Score of 21. Score 22. Score 24. Score 24. Score of 24. Score of 23. Score 23.5. Score of 23. Score 24.5. Score 25.5. Score 24.5. Score 25.5. Score of 24. Score 22.5. Score 23.5. Score 20.5. Score 24. Score of 24. Score 27.5. Score 23.5. Score 22.5. Score of 23. Score 23.5. Score of 22. Score of 24. Score of 24. Score of 23. Score of 22. Score 23.5. Okay, that completes the portrait. And our last category is Waterscape. So water must be featured in the picture somewhere. And we will do a run through.
Good.
Okay. And now we will score the photos. Score 24.5. Score 26. Score 23. Score of 22. Score 26.5. Score 24. Score of 19. Score of 23. Score 24 and a half. Score 22 and a half. Score of 19. Score of 26. Score 27. Score 22 and a half. Score 22 and a half. Score 26. Score of 25. Score of 24. Score of 23. Score of 22. Score of 23. Score of 20 and a half. Score 21 and a half. Score 22. Score of 26. Score of 27. Score 24 and a half. Score 25 and a half. Score of 20. Score 21. Score 22 and a half. Score 22 and a half. Score 25. Score 23 and a half. Score 23 and a half. Score of 24. Score 25 and a half. Score of 22. Score of 25. Score 23.5. Score 23.5. Score 22.5. Score 23. Score 23.5. Score 22. Score 21. Score 21.5. Score 22. Score of 25. And that's that. We've scored all the images.
Wow.
So now what we're going to do is we are going to view what the highest scoring image was for Best in Show.
Okay. And let me go to that category. It was a two-way tie.
So we have a two-way tie for Best in Show. So these are the two images that received the highest scores throughout the whole competition. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you those two images, and then you three can discuss between yourselves which one you would like to choose as Best in Show.
Yep.
Any questions?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, first I'm going to show both full screen. And then we'll bring them up side by side.
All right, well, they're totally different subjects, so that makes it very interesting.
It does, and they've both caught the action at precisely the right moment. I mean, these are both fantastic images, and I kept looking and looking at both of these when I saw them. They just keep you engaged and tell a story.
I agree that we caught just the peak action on each of them. I do have a preference myself. If somebody, I'll just start. I'm going to go with the egret, with the fish catch, for mainly one reason only, is the background is so simple for it. I know with the guy jumping and landing, there's a lot of distractions, but you can't help that. But for a pure just top image, I go for the egret.
My first inclination is to agree with you because, I mean, there's a minimalist impact to this shot that I really, really like. The one thing that I don't like about it is how much negative space there is at the bottom. There's a lot of, there's a third of the image at the bottom that doesn't have anything going on in there. The water isn't flat enough to create a really nice reflection. And so, I would have liked perhaps a slightly tighter crop in that one. I do agree that there's a lot of distraction in the background, although that is not of the second image of the long jumper. But it is certainly not where my eye went to first. However, given a moment, that's your eye does start to be pulled to all of the color and human form that's in the background. I love them both, but I think I would probably choose the egret as well.
In looking at the two of them, and I absolutely love them both. Like, what amazing captures. I don't think I've ever seen a long jumper with this capture. It's just so cool. And also the egret, I'm a nature photographer, so I see more of the types of shots with the egrets. The one thought that I have with the long jumper is I can tell the light is a lot more harsh, right? It's more in the day, and I can tell there was a lot of, and I understandably so, manipulation done to pull out the low shadows, pull those up and resolve some of the maybe borderline overexposure in the highlights. And for that reason, I like the egret more, just because the lighting is more natural, and there may have done, we all need to manipulate things at time to time to pull up low lights or pull down highlights. But I feel like the light is a little bit more pleasing than in the other one. And again, the person who shot the one with the long jumper, you're in a scenario, you're doing journalistic style photography, you get what you get. And I think you've done an excellent job. But my eye tends to go to the egret, and I just feel like it's a cleaner image. It just is more easy on the eye. But I mean, these are both fantastic, but I think I hedge my bets towards the egret. And unfortunately, that fish. I mean, it's just the way it's curved up, and I mean, you just captured it at the right moment. Yeah, capture within a capture here. So my vote hedges towards the egret, but these are both fantastic images, and both people should be incredibly proud of what they've accomplished.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay.
With the egret, like with the eye, what I love is both the egret's eye, but the poor fish's eye is sharp also.
Yep, it is. And even I think has a little catch light in both. I've been looking. It's just exquisite. They both are. I mean, the expression on the guy's face. One thought I have, if I were to use this journalistic style picture, I think a black and white conversion, you would be able to bring out more of what you want and subdue more of what you want. I think that one take that even further. I think both would be cool in black and white, but I think the journalistic one with the long jumper, try that in black and white and see what you get. They're both fascinating images.
Okay, great, thank you. So the egret then is best in show.
Congratulations.
Wonderful. Yay.
Do we want to show Shane who that is? Let's can we show that winner? Is that possible, or do we have to wait till the end? You're Shane, just so you know, you're still muted. So Matt Collin, congratulations, nice. Matt. Good job.
Congratulations. Excellent images. Yes. Great way to start out a Saturday.
Yes, awesome capture.
It's a shot I wish I'd taken.
Yes, don't we all?
Yes.
All right. So now that we've picked best in show for our viewers at home, the reason we did that is because now that will not be qualified for best in nature, because we want to spread the love and make sure that each image only gets one award. So now we will, now that we've picked that, go through each category and pick the winners, or if there's ties, or see the winner by category. So we will start with Cityscape.
No ties.
No ties in Cityscape. So the winner is To Infinity and Beyond by Jean-Marc Barra. I apologize if I say anybody's names incorrectly. So congratulations, Jean-Marc. All right, so that is the Cityscape winner.
It looks like a French name, so I'm guessing it's Jean-Marc.
Jean-Marc, yes, that might be. I apologize if I said it wrong.
Congratulations.
Yes.
It's a gorgeous image, and I can appreciate the time it took to get your exposure right on a really long, probably neutral density filter, and just I love the light and shade. It's a great image.
Yeah, what I love about this is kind of like with the long jumper, if it was in black and white, it would look, this is beautiful in black and white. If it was in color, the
Yeah.
shadow, the highlights might even be too much. I think this is perfect with the black and white rendition.
There's just so many wonderful angles in here. There's sort
Yeah.
of that really hard human element and then the organic feel of the clouds during the long exposure. It really is an awesome shot.
Yeah, and I love the balance with the shadows in the upper and right side of the image juxtaposed with all the wonderful windows and then the sky. It's just a gorgeous composition, really well done.
Indeed.
Any other comments?
Let's hope the
No.
rest of them will be this easy with no ties.
Yes. All right, so next is creative. Oh, we do have a tie. Okay, so we have a two-way tie for creative.
And let me know if you want to see these full screen.
I would like to see them full screen.
Okay, let's do it. I'll go back and repeat.
Good. And then maybe we can talk about them. What do you think?
Oh, go
Yeah,
right ahead.
Indeed. Yep. Put them back up there together and
Yep, here we go.
I think for me, I love them both. Love, love, love them both. For me, the one on the left with the bird is a more creative interpretation. I love how the book pages turn into a bird. And not just because I'm a bird person, but I just think the element of creativity is better executed. That's not something people would think about every day. Boat on the water is a little more traditional, but I love both of them very much. I could easily see them, you know, on a wall or something like that. They're both really, really beautiful. That's my thought, though. A little bit more ingenuity with the first one.
yeah, these are really tough photos to sort of dissect because they're both incredibly well executed.
Yes.
You know, if it's really difficult for me to be critical of anything. I do find myself wondering why they made the choice of when the bottom bird in the book photo is smaller than the next one up. And I am wondering what the reason for that was. You know, I'm just curious because that does make it look like it's perhaps a little farther away, and so that would be the only, you know, it's not even a criticism. It's just I'm wondering why they made that choice. It's a great photograph. The other one, I'm in a dream. When I see that shot, I'm in a dream. And I love, it's not easy. I've tried to do this before. It's not easy to create a reflection in Photoshop. It really is not. And they often come out looking incredibly artificial.
Yeah.
And this one does not. I love the symmetry of it. I love the mood. It's colorful, but it doesn't blow you away, right? You know, both of them could be great on a wall, but if I had to choose which one, like if I contacted these people and said, you know, which one would I want to have hanging on my wall, it would be the boat.
Agreed.
So I'm having difficulty making a decision. So I'm gonna listen to our final judge and go ahead.
Oh, I thought I was going to get to break the tie this time.
Oh, well, I am leaning towards the boat. So
okay. Can we put up each image individually again? Because I want to make a comment and a question. What I like about many of the images that were shown, there were a number of them that were very black around the edges. And when we put a white stroke like what we have here, this defines this image. There was a black panther that was in nature somewhere that you didn't know where the black was or not. And I'm talking about when we're showing these on the screen. Go to the boat. if I was to buy an image and place it on my wall, it would be the boat.
Mhm.
But this is creative, and I would select the bird book image. That's would be my choice, this image here.
And that's purely from the definition of the category.
I
agree.
It's yes, the category. If this was one a category of which print would you like on your wall, it's the boat.
Yeah, and I think even in, not to pick the naming of the, like, that has nothing to do with it, but if the category was illustrative versus creative, I might technically go one way or the other, but the innovativeness, I will say, of the bird to me speaks. And I do wonder too, with that question about the first bird that's completely off the page, I see it as a little bit of backwards to forwards movement with the bird flying forward, you know, with to finally get to the bird in the top right, which I love that it's in the rule of thirds, that PowerPoint right there. The placement and composition of that is pretty. I do agree. If I were to put one or the other on the wall, it would probably be the boat, depending on the circumstances and the environment, though. So if this was in a library of a house, I'd probably go with the bird. So it's so, I mean, we're splitting hairs here. They're both amazing. I can appreciate.
We have to pick one, guys.
Yep, I know. I'm going to go with the bird. That's the bird is for me.
And as much as I'm torn, there's nothing wrong with either of these. They're just such incredible images, and I'm convinced that the bird is also the way to go.
Daryl, what's your final vote? The bird, if I'm correct.
We're not hearing you, Sandy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Daryl. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. And Daryl, what is your final vote?
Is the book with the bird.
Okay, so that is first for creative.
Congratulations to both.
And I don't know what the title of that is, but bird is the word.
Well, we're going to get it now. Flight
there we go. Flight of
Inspiration.
All right. Very good. Congratulations, Mark. Beautiful image. Both of them are.
They are.
We'll do landscape. Oh, no ties.
Wow.
So the first place is Daryl Harrington.
Congratulations. It's a beautiful
good
location.
name, good spelling of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I know Daryl, and I believe that was taken up in Banff. I think that's where Mistaya Canyon is.
It's on the Park Pike Highway between Jasper and Banff.
Gorgeous.
Yep. Great job, Daryl.
Really beautiful.
All right. And next is Monochrome. Oh, we do have a tie.
Look at them full screen.
Please.
Yes, we'll do each one full screen.
I'll do about 5 seconds. Yeah.
Not making it easy for us. These are both awesome.
Let me go back and show both of them again.
Can I desire to start first.
Okay.
I don't get it. Go ahead, Daryl.
I think I'll take Desire 850. Again, simplicity. I love the tracks, the way they work, the way the cars coming towards you. I think it is brilliant. The one on the left, the black and white, is just done beautifully. But I do see on the left side the tree that's there that's a little distracting to me. I mean, those are just minor things, but I would go for Desire.
I found the tree to be pulling my focus as well. You know, I don't know if the photographer could have stepped out onto one of those rocks to, I mean, you could have cropped it, or to step further into the frame, you know, to eliminate that distraction, but it is pulling my eye away from, you know, these really nice strong lines. Again, sort of, you know, you've got that beautiful organic feel along with the really harsh, like the really strong lines of the covered bridge and so on. Desire just jumps right out at you, you know, even the choice of having sort of the blue tone to it, right? That steel blue is perfect with the rail. You know, I know that in order to be judged in this category, it had to be one solid color, but I would love to see perhaps some selective color. You know, I know that would have disqualified them in this shot, but it's just such a simple composition that really has punch to it.
Okay. So does that mean, oh, go ahead, Lisa.
No, that's okay. I was just going to say, I felt similarly about the tree, and I don't know whether, you know, you can get rid of that one way or the other. I have to say, I loved the exposure timing on the left one. It's just the right amount of texture in that water where it isn't so fuzzy that, I don't know. I loved a lot of the line. I love that covered bridge. I loved a lot about the left, but the one on the right with the street, I was just talking about this movie this week, ironically. The one on the right, even the fact that the connector for the cable car just leans to the right, it just balances that whole image out. I love, it's creative. I love how that was done. You know, I realize this is an illustrative type of image, but I love it. I just loved it from the beginning. I love the tracks. I love the steel color, as Daryl was saying. That is a winner to me. They're both amazing, but my vote's for the Streetcar Called Desire.
I think that's
unanimous.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Both are excellent, though.
Sure are.
All right. So that's Chuck Fleshman with Desire.
Congratulations, Chuck.
Yeah, it's a great image.
Great job.
Great job.
All righty. On to nature. So now the one that took best in show will not be in the running for the winner of this category. So we will be seeing the next down score, not to take anything away from them. So we have a tie.
Okay.
We have a 4-way tie.
Wow.
So as you look, we'll do each one full screen, and then we'll come back to seeing them alongside. And as you talk it out, if you want one removed to kind of, you know, reduce the options as you go along, we will do that.
Okay.
Okay.
I love the storytelling here. I love the water in the background. I'm missing a little bit of the catchlight, and I realize it's the positioning of the head of the male cardinal. So I struggle a little bit with that there. I think that might have just helped, but again, that's a position thing. You can't really do much about that. But I really love the storytelling, and I know nature photography so much is about the storytelling, and I think it's wonderful for that reason, and great choice of the wide aspect ratio crop on this.
Yeah, my thought is just to go through these right now. I'm thinking about comments for each one.
Yeah, we can do that.
And I'm sorry if I jumped in too early.
That's all right, Lisa. You're excited. Nothing wrong with that.
This is my category, right? Nature girl.
Yeah. All right. So now we'll go back to them alongside each other. And then you guys can, you know, start talking it out and figuring out which ones you want removed.
Or ask me to show one of them large or more than one.
Can I see the osprey shot again? The third one?
Third one, here we go.
Thank you, Peter, because this is one I've got some comments myself.
Yeah, if we're commenting, I love the rim lighting on the, I'm assuming that's the female, although with Osprey, it could be the male too. It's, I mean, you've captured a fantastic moment. I do find myself just wishing that at least one of the fledgling chicks was looking up at, the incoming meal. I think it's well balanced. The background isn't distracting, even though there is, definitely some clutter back there. The exposure was right. The shutter speed was good. I really do like this shot. I'm not too sure it's my favorite yet, but I definitely wanted to have another look at it.
Part of my feeling, and maybe I'm wrong on this, it almost looks over sharpened to me.
It's been difficult throughout this to, I've had to sort of, make some judgment calls based on just the way things are being transmitted over the internet. So, I don't know. It doesn't look overly sharp on my screen, but it might be. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to the 4.
Yeah. Can we go to the seagull for a moment? This one personally, I really, really love, but now from a sharpening standpoint, the tail feathers are sharper than the wing feathers on my screen. If those wing feathers were a little bit more tack sharp on my screen, this would be my top one.
I feel similarly, and there's a lot of background noise, so I don't in the audio, not in the bird. There we go. So I agree with you. The tail feathers look a hair sharper, as if the focusing just couldn't quite catch up. But that said, it's been executed well, and I love the symmetry. I love the soft vignette around the edge. I love that the way the eyes are of the bird. I mean, gulls are a bird that most people don't have an affinity for, and I sort of feel like they're unsung heroes sometimes. They're really interesting birds if you learn a lot about them. And I really like how this brings out the very best in this bird. I love the symmetry. But I do agree, and it could be just a monitor thing, but I'm seeing a little more focus in the back than in the front.
Let me pipe in real quickly again. If you notice, the bill and the eyes are sharp.
Mm-hmm.
The legs are sharp. The tail is. What it's telling me is those wings were in movement some. And we did not have quite fast enough shutter speed. What do you think, Peter?
I certainly see that. And so obviously either the wings were movement or there was definitely some wind, right? As the wings are catching the wind. And so there's a little bit of motion blur in those. For me, that's not a deal breaker. I love the head cock. The head is just slightly cocked to the side, as is the one wing on the right. The wing kind of flows upwards on the right a little bit more. And I just kind of love that. I love the line in this. And so for me, having the wing feathers, the tips of those feathers slightly out of focus isn't a deal breaker for me. I'm not too sure that this would be my first choice, but I love the geometry of this shot.
Yeah. And
the texture in the background. I mean, it looks like it's been, manipulated a little bit. There's kind of a vignetting on the top and bottom, which I think is fair game. And so, I really like it. They've added their own little gray frame around it to sort of, again, draw your attention to the shot. There's a reason why it's tied. It's a great image.
My one question that I have, and this maybe goes back to the folks running this contest, is in the rules, it says all allowed adjustments must appear natural. And that is one question that I have about the apparent vignetting. I love the look. I love the impact of this. And I don't know if it's correct if I ask, but that is one question that I do have, is if...
Well, according to what I have here in front of me, it does say dodging and burning is allowed.
Okay.
So, as a technical point, you could, add a vignette by burning around the edges. So it does say that, I'll read it, without altering the content of the original scene are permitted, including HDR, focus stacking, and dodging and burning.
Okay, so even though we wouldn't see birds with a vignette, in that case, it's still allowed.
I can't, that's something that you guys have to
Okay.
determine. I can read you the.
And I have them in front of me too. I'm just asking, you know.
Yep, no, I appreciate you asking. I would rather you ask than not. So that's something you guys have to decide whether or not you feel that that's.
I think it really adds to the image personally, and
Me too.
You know, I'd hate to see this image disqualified because of that, because there's nothing that says they can't vignette a shot. So
yeah, and that's what it's like. On one side of the rules, it makes sense, and on the other side of the rules, it doesn't make sense. So I'm like, but maybe we can just pause on that for a moment as we review the others. But wonderful image.
Well, I was going to suggest, let's go back to the 4, and I'll be brave enough. I'll tell you my top 2, and then we'll try and narrow it down to 1 of what you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
The Cardinals, I really love it. I love the rain that's coming down on it. If I'm trying to be really critical, the cock of the head of the male cardinal and the angle of it, that would take it out for me versus the seagull, which I love. The osprey, I think, is a little bit too over sharpened for me. I think the lioness is beautiful. So the 2 that I would like to see is the lioness and the seagull. That's me.
And I agree with the lioness, and we haven't talked about that one yet, but the lighting is exquisite, and we can look at those further.
Can we have a look at the lioness?
Yeah.
There's just the eyes got me. The instant, nothing else mattered when I first saw this shot, but when I saw that intense stare, this is definitely an animal that is not looking at the photographer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we often get that in wildlife, right? Where the photographer, is drawing attention of the subject. And, this is, I love it. The lighting is good. The whiskers are showing up nicely. The background fades off beautifully. It does have some really nice sharpness to it, but definitely not overly sharp. It's a great shot.
And I can appreciate that. I'm sure this photographer was celebrating this, but none of the weeds were in front of her face.
Yeah.
That's always such a challenge. And, definitely serendipity was on your side with that. I'm a sucker for side light, and I love the soft side light with the rim light around her face. It just draws your attention more into that. It even catches on some of the ear hairs and the eyebrows, and yet it's not blown out. And that's a really tricky exposure to accomplish. And I love that. I love the eyes very, very much. And yet they chose the right aperture so that the eyes are in focus and the nose is in focus and the ears. And that's a little bit tricky when you're dealing with wildlife and trying to figure out your focus points and, not having a background too blurry. So the settings, I think, were perfect for this. I wouldn't have changed a darn thing. I love it. I love the composition too.
Yeah, what I love about the focus on it is, again, the eyes, ears, nose are sharp. The frilly grasses in the foreground, I think, are one of the things that really makes it. I love it. Mm-hmm. If we could have dodged and burned in the lower section of the body, we have a couple grasses that are a little hot, but that's really minor.
Yeah.
But does anybody have a selection here of which they want to go?
Go back to the 4 then?
Yeah. The one thing that it's not that I don't like it. Like, I love the stare. I do wish that there was a little bit more of a story to that shot. Like, I love the Cardinals. It's the Cardinals have, like, that's to me like the kind of almost the human touch story that I really like. Mm-hmm. So for me, those are the 2. It's the Cardinals and the lioness. Can I see the Cardinals again?
Sure.
The raindrops, the rain on the feathers. It would be nice if we got a little bit of The photographer needed a reflector at the bottom to shine a little bit of light in that really dark eye.
And I think that could have even possibly been dodged a little bit in very, very, very small way to pull that out a little bit. That's the one thing is like the first thing I want to look at, and I mean, it's a great shot, but the first thing I want to look at as people, right? It's human nature. We want to connect with those eyes first. That's a very primal thing. And I have to struggle to do it in that case, just because, and you're right, if we had a reflection, light, something like that, a reflector, it'd be great. I just struggle with that eye because it's like the first thing you look at. And then it makes me struggle, and I can't get that resolved in my head, but I love this shot.
Well, I think I'm willing to vote for the lioness. They're all beautiful shots. They all have merit. But the lioness eyes are incredible.
They are.
And I would vote for the seagull.
Oh, so I'm the tiebreaker
now. So do you want us to eliminate some?
Let's do lioness and seagull and see one more time.
Okay, just those two. Do you want us to eliminate the cardinal and the osprey, or leave them in for now?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Lisa.
I was going to say, I love the cardinal, but that one point I struggle with, and please, whoever's listening, if that's your shot, do not take this. I mean, that is a great moment that you've captured. It's not a poor shot. We're sitting here slicing and dicing, hairs. So my vote is still between the eagle and the lioness. Or excuse me, the cardinal and the lioness. Forgive me.
Well, then the lioness wins.
Is that a consensus?
I love them both. I still struggle, but what I really love is that lighting on the lioness. And I think I sit and look at both of those back and forth, and they're both awesome. I will.
I vote for the lioness then.
All right. Okay. I'll go with it. They're both
Peter?
awesome.
Oh, absolutely. The lioness for me is number one. They're all fantastic though. So kudos to everyone.
Yeah. What a great conversation too about these images.
It's interesting to hear the process of thought going through, when people are picking these winners. Go ahead and show it, Shane. Sometimes as a photographer, when you see the winner, you wonder how the process went, and it's wonderful to see it. So congratulations, Janet Donch, looking for lunch.
And it's a good thing she's not looking at you, Janet. Well done.
Congratulations, Janet.
Excellent. Boy, can you imagine those four sitting there while we're talking and what they're thinking?
I know. It's got to be tough.
We are picking on the most minor things to make the decision.
It truly is. I mean, and what an awesome thing to be among four excellent images. I mean, truly, these are the best of the best, and they are wonderful.
No ties.
Really?
Well, that makes it easier then. Oh, indeed.
And
I loved this.
Image we voted on, you guys.
Yeah.
And what helped is we went through the whole thing.
Yeah. This is phenomenal. I cannot stop looking at it. I love it. Every piece of everything you put into this image, the lighting, the way you did it, it is outstanding. I mean, even the little sunbursts in the earring and I mean, everything just, I'm a big person for using contrast to really bring your eye where you want it to and to subdue it where you don't want people to look. And this is everything you could hope for. I love it.
Fantastic sepia tone, even having the grandfather clock in the background.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that was mist sprayed, during the exposure with the backlight and like, and that reflected spectacle where you can't see the eye at all.
Yeah.
Just, you know, it's a fantastic image, right?
Look at the rim lighting even on the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a real top hat. There's no way that, I don't think that would be one of those ones that you'd buy at the cheap costume store, right? You know, it's such a great shot. Beautifully processed.
Good choice, judges.
Yeah. This is great. Congratulations, Athena. This is beautiful.
Congratulations. All right, let's go to the next one. Photojournalism. Do we have a tie? No ties. John McGarry, Stretching for Every Inch.
I'm so glad that John won this category because it is an outstanding, really interesting storytelling image.
Yep. And the sand frozen, right? Just, it's, gosh, amazing. It's a fantastic shot.
I know, and I love how his hand just punches through that cloud of sand. It's really neat. I wonder if John ever gets the chance to show this, whoever the long jumper is, this image. I would think he would really appreciate it.
Excellent image.
And now we have portrait. No ties.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to try and say this name again. I apologize. Jean-Marc Barra.
I love this shot. It's kind of got a high key feeling to it. But, you know, the direct eye contact, you know, the mouth is open, the oxen in the background. You know, normally something like that I would find distracting, but I don't in this case because the photo ends at the oxen. There isn't more stuff back there, even, you know, so in the way that this was processed, there's nothing else that's really distracting. I love the aperture that you chose, Jean-Marc. And just the textures in the blanket. Right?
Yeah. And that repetition of color too is pretty with the pink and the black, and then you get it again in the oxen and the just the right amount of contrast in that oxen. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a fantastic shot.
The exposure, the focus, the subject, the background, the eyes, everything. Excellent.
Beautiful
Very
shot.
cool. Yeah.
All right. And next is Waterscape.
All right.
Oh, we have a tie.
So I'll show them full screen.
Yeah, thank you. Can you go to the next one pretty quickly? I've got my choice.
Me too.
Well, because I don't, maybe I'll start then. I'm a sucker for waterfalls. And, you know, this one is well done. I'm guessing that perhaps this was an exposure bracketed shot. Can I see that waterfall shot again? Not exposure bracketed, but focus bracketed. Because the leaves in the foreground seem quite sharp, as does the background. So, you know, the tones are nice. The lighting is perfect. I really like this shot, but move to the walkway or the boardwalk. I could spend an hour trying to read all of those boards and still be engrossed, right? There's, you know, the line is, I mean, line is really important in photography, right? Pulls the eye right in. I really like this shot. Can I see the other one again? But as a waterscape, because that's the category, I think I'm going to have to choose this waterfall. That would be my choice. Colors are amazing, you know, it's just perfect saturation, nice exposure. There's a little bit of a hot spot where the waterfalls are emptying into this pool. That may be the way it's showing up on my screen, but that would be my selection.
Lisa, can I go next so we can
Sure.
try?
Sure.
So, okay, let's leave this one up. The only thing I'm critical of is on the right-hand side, the rock. I love the leaves. I do not like that wood stem or the wood there. I'm sorry.
I see it. Yeah,
Wait
I
a
see
second.
it.
Let's go to the next one. Here you go again. There's simplicity with detail. Beautiful tones, colors, and I love the subtle sunburst or starburst through the sun. This would be my pick.
And this would be my pick too, because I can look from edge to edge of this frame and everything's understandable. And I agree with the concept of I could read every single board on this boardwalk. I wish I knew where this was. This is really neat. Every single board has a story. And from a storytelling perspective, I think that makes me think a lot about this image and keeps me wanting to stay in it. And I love the exceptional long boardwalk, the processing, the light. It just makes me want to be here. The waterfall, if we can flip to that one for a minute. And this was tough because I really like this waterfall. I love how you get up and your eye can follow all the way up to the source where that water's coming. I like that they brought a second element in with the foreground, but I feel like the foreground is busy to me, even though I get why you put it here, and it's not your fault. You can't move the leaves around. I just feel like it's a little bit harder to understand. And I sort of want to just get past it and get to the waterfall. And I think this would have even been a stronger image as a really wide aspect ratio crop and just get the foreground out of there. That's my 2 cents. And it just would have been simpler. For that reason, I vote for the boardwalk.
Okay, and I can definitely accept those arguments. So the boardwalk it is.
There's the winner.
Jocelyn, congratulations. I hope she's still on. She said she had to log off at noon. So I hope Cindy is still on.
She can watch the replay. She can watch the replay.
Cindy.
Yeah, this is great.
Really?
You know where it is, Lisa. Grays Beach, wherever
I
that
do
is.
now. We have to Google that.
While you're doing the next one, I'll text her and ask her where it is.
All right, wonderful.
Okay, so now we have oh wait.
Judge's choice is coming up next.
Choice. Yeah, that's where we are. We're all done with the individuals.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to do judge's choice then next, right?
Yeah, we'll do yours first, Daryl.
Oh,
and
thank you.
let's take a look at if you have a tie. You have no tie. Wow.
Really?
And so these actually, that's wrong. I'm not in the judge's choice category.
Do you want to see only your top score, or would you like to see a variety of your top scores? Like if you only gave.
So hang on. I was wrong there, Sandy. I wasn't in the judge's choice when I broke the ties.
Okay.
So you have a 75 way tie, Daryl. So
believe it or not, I already have my choice.
Okay.
And
Tell me what it is.
I wrote it down a long time ago.
Okay.
Livestock trader.
Do we know which one that was?
I think that one took best in portrait. So unfortunately, we have to ask you to pick a different one because we can't have an image have more than one award.
Yeah.
Because the livestock trader took portrait.
Okay, I understand. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't want to run through all of them again.
We can bring the thumbnails up, or as you can see. Can you just eyeball and see if there was one in particular that catches your eye, or we can.
I could try to make these a little bigger, actually, and then we can scroll through them.
There you go.
So, and then I'll just scroll down.
Just scroll down.
Yep. Hang on, I got to go over to the scroll bar here. And then let me know when you want to scroll to the next section.
Let's go to the next section. Okay.
And if there's any in particular you want us to just remove, we can do
That's
that
good.
too.
Can we go to the final section?
Yeah. It's like you got one more after this. And if you want to see something big, just tell me. I can hover over it, bring it up.
No, that's good. Go to the next. Okay, go to the very top.
Oops, sorry. Hang on, got to scroll again.
Go down, scroll down one more. Okay, the New England scene on the left side. That's my choice.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice choice. It's a beautiful photograph.
It is.
All right. And
So now
I can't see the name.
Oh, it's Bill
Hoikala.
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 Okay, there it is. I moved my screen around and it blocked it out for a second. So Bill Hoikala.
Hoikala. I think he's
Hoikala.
with that last name like that. I'm guessing he's from Finland, or his ancestry is.
Peggy's Cove 287. Well, congratulations, Bill. All right. And who are we doing next?
We're doing Colleen. No, we're doing Lisa next. Sorry.
Lisa.
Okay, judges too. Let me get to the right spot. Okay, so it's only a 40-way tie, Lisa.
Man, you guys don't make this easy. These are fantastic. Thank you.
So let me know if you want me to zoom in a little, make them all a little bigger.
Am I seeing all 40? I'm seeing all 40 right now,
You're
right?
seeing all 40 right now.
Okay. Oh, they're so different and they're so amazing. All right, let me just take a gander here again.
Your time. We're not in any time crunch.
Sure. All right. If I could see, oh, they're so great. I'm just looking here a minute. Bear with me. I'm just pondering as I'm looking at these thumbnails here for a moment.
If there's any you want us to eliminate to, make it less, let us know.
This is like Sophie's choice. It's so hard. They're amazing. I would like to see, there's a woman with a babushka, a black and white, third row. Could I see that again?
This one?
Yes, thank you. I do love that one. And if you could close that out, and if I could see the Paris shot, which is third row center. Yep. I loved that too. All right. And let me see here. I'm debating because there's a couple I really also love. If I could see the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the sixth one from the left on the top, it's green.
What we can do is if you have like 3 or 4 that you really want to ponder over, we can eliminate everything else and just have those ones up. It's up to you.
All right. I think I've been looking at my top choices here. I loved the painterly feeling of that one that we just had up in green, and that's going to be my vote for the winner. I just think it's so gorgeous. The composition, the lighting, the processing, it's wonderful. And I love every single thing about that. That's my choice.
Beautiful shot.
Tom Kuchara.
Yeah.
Tom, congratulations.
Hey, Tom. Yeah, this is beautiful. Really, really beautiful.
Way to go, Tom.
Yeah.
I'll have to send him a message later.
Well, it's gorgeous. I love that very, very much.
Oh, and Cindy Gosselin responded that the boardwalk that you chose was from Yarmouth.
Wonderful.
So that's out in Cape, I believe in Cape Cod.
I'll have to get out there one of those days. That's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
There's a Yarmouth in Nova Scotia too, so.
Oh, okay. I will have to
I'm not too sure.
get a clarification from her.
And I just Googled it. I think it is in Massachusetts, Grays Beach. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Peter, you're up 95.
Oh dear, Peter. How do you want it? You want to do?
Well, keep in mind that, we've already eliminated, the dozen that won the other categories, right? So, so a lot of your top scores were probably in the others. Use it the next tier down to keep to one.
I see. Oh, I see. So yeah, because, okay. Well, you're going to have to zoom in a little bit, not to.
Yeah, hang on. Definitely a lot bigger than that. We'll get a couple scrolls out of this.
Okay. Okay, I've scanned these ones. Can you scroll down?
Yeah, next 2 rows are here. And any you want to see, just let me know, even if it's at this step.
Okay. I also love the old woman with the babushka. Okay, scroll down. Okay.
The rest are right here.
This is strange, but I seem to be missing one that I really liked, and I feel that I scored it high, but it's not showing up, and it's never showed up before. It's the young boys, the Amish boys in the back of the wagon.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
I remember that one. That was an open.
And I
did get a very high score.
I scored that quite high.
Well, we can, if nothing else, we can bring it up.
Yeah.
In that category.
And
yep, there it is. Second row, second from the left.
Can I have a look at that one?
Yeah, hang on, not from that. Let's see what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pause over it.
There we go.
I love this shot. I love the fact that he's holding the slow moving vehicle sign. Eyes are there. Okay. Go back to the other ones. I want to scan through them one more time, and my apologies for that. But...
No, that's fine.
And so if you could zoom in.
Oops.
Oh, maybe not that close. Yeah.
Maybe not that close. Exactly.
That's the perfect size. So 1 row at a time.
Okay.
The frog is beautiful. Keep going. I love how they framed the cormorants with that sun and the lighthouse there. That's a beautiful shot too. Okay, keep going. And there's that panther. Keep going. All right. Keep going. All right. Can I see that babushka again, the old woman? Just hover on that. Love the expression. Great black and white shot. Okay, keep going. All right.
I'm just trying to get the one in the center to focus on, and then I'll scroll the next up.
Okay. Next. Okay. All right. Next. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Next. Right. And that's the last of it, eh? That's the final row. Oh, no,
One
one
more.
Okay. No, I think I'm going to stick with the Amish boys. I love the story of that shot, and it's beautifully exposed and composed.
Hang on.
Challenging Shane's computer. We may have to just show it like that for now, and then.
Okay.
Well, hang on. I can actually bring up the person's name without a lot of other details. You guys just have to, let's go with.
I'm closing my eyes.
Yeah, don't worry. Okay, so we'll see the photographer and their title.
Colleen Riley, congratulations. Looking back.
I love the title too.
Yeah, that's a wonderful image.
Yeah.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations, Colleen. All right. So we have all of our winners. Thank you guys so much. This was an amazing way to spend a Saturday morning looking at awesome images with you. We really appreciate your time and your comments. Thank you so much. I hope that everybody watching enjoyed it as well. Thank you again to Shane and Colleen and Bob for being such great helps in doing this competition and pulling this off in the midst of the pandemic. Congratulations to all of our winners. And hopefully in the spring, normally pre-pandemic, we would have a big banquet in the spring and present the awards and have a slideshow of the top scoring images. We don't know what the spring will hold for us, but we will see what happens. We do ask that each of you write 3 or 4 sentences about your judge's choice for our presentation, if we have it at some point, and we can email you a reminder of what image and a thumbnail of it so that you can clearly formulate your thoughts.
Give us a thumbnail.
Yep. Okay. Well, that completes our presentation. Thank you so much, guys. Any last final thoughts?
Outstanding work. Really loved how coordinated and how easy you made this for us.
Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you. Well, I put a lot of that to Shane for his great software.
It's been a pleasure working with all of you, and you have some amazing talent in Connecticut.
Oh, thank you.
Sure do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone who participated. It was a lot of fun. A great way to spend my Saturday. Much better than politics.
Yes. We can. Yeah, it'll be there when we're done and get back to it. So this was a nice break.
We had a way easier time picking a winner than the rest of the country is right now. So this was a pleasure. And I appreciate everyone who submitted. It takes courage to do that. And you did a great job.
Yeah. And I'll say, one of the things, I think, Lisa, you questioned some of the others. You guys are debating those excellent tied pictures. One of mine was in there, and I thought your comments were right on, right? So I think it worked really well.
Which one was it?
It was the Cardinals.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Well, that was an outstanding image.
And the funny thing is, as a little gift for Shane, I purchased something from this company called Metal Birds USA, and it's these cutouts of birds, and it's got like a stick or pointy part at the bottom and you hammer it into a tree. And I saw one, they have one of two cardinals kissing. And I gave that to him just yesterday as a thank you. And so I thought it was apropos that his image was one of the finalists for nature. I was chuckling to myself. So
sweet. And I have one of those of hummingbirds that I have in my yard too. So I know what you mean with they're really beautiful pieces.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Well, Shane, it was a beautiful image. I mean, it truly was. And this was fun. This was just genuinely a really nice break from reality, except it is reality. You guys have spent a lot of time doing this. I appreciated being a part of this so much. It was a lot of fun.
Also, it was great working with you, Lisa and Peter.
Yes, both of you too. I feel the same way.
I reciprocate the feelings.
Yeah, hope we can do it in person sometime.
For our viewers at home, please, check out Lisa, Daryl, and Peter's Instagram accounts. I followed you all this morning.
Thank
you. Everybody can find your websites on our competition website page. We'll leave that up for a few days more because we'll post the winners on there for everybody to see. But please show Peter, Daryl, and Lisa some love for their time today.
Thank you.
All
Thank you
right.
so much. I really appreciate this.
Great. And that
Thank you,
concludes the Tops in Connecticut competition.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.